Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kelsey Kiesling.
And I'm Kendra Cook. Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest TV Translator Association.
If you have a news topic or event you'd like to see covered, give us a call. The studio number is 677-4119.
Today's show runs Monday at noon and is uploaded to our YouTube channel and our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page to watch on demand. Today is August 6, 2018. And now the news at noon.
According to the Cortez Journal, 33 seconds after arriving at a suburban Denver home where a man had broken in and attacked an 11-year-old boy, police officers heard shots fired inside. An armed man came into view, police said Thursday, refusing 5 orders to drop his gun. He started to come toward officers and raise a flashlight he held in his other hand. An officer fired 4 rounds, killing 73-year-old Richard Black, Aurora Police Chief Nick Metz said in the department's first detailed account of the shooting early Monday. The officers soon found the intruder, 26-year-old Dejon Harper, dead in a bathroom from shots Black fired to protect his grandson. Those were the shots officers heard after arriving at the chaotic scene. Metz said he did not hear the uniformed officers identify themselves as police in body camera video. He acknowledged that Black, a decorated Vietnam veteran, had a significant hearing impairment from his military service that may have made it hard for him to hear the orders to drop his gun. Police will not release body cam footage yet, citing the wishes of the Black family and prosecutors who will decide whether to charge the unidentified officer who opened fire. In their statement, the Black family urged people not to threaten or harass police because of what happened, noting that Richard Black deeply appreciated law enforcement.
Reported by the Journal, photo credit R. Lewis, courtesy. The latest update on the Bull Jaw fire burning in the remote area 12 miles northwest of Nucla. It grew to 6,096 acres Saturday and forced the evacuation of a home and several cabins. Upslope afternoon winds fueled the fire as the fire spread north onto U.S. Forest Service land, said Public Information Officer Ann Janik. Existing containment lines held and containment remained at 35%. 1 full-time residence and several cabins in the vicinity of the fire were evacuated, but no other evacuation orders are in effect at this time, Janik said. Protecting property is a priority and resources are responding to prepare these structures with defensible space. A Type 2 incident management team was scheduled to take over management of the fire on Monday. The fire was expected to grow because of dry, hot weather, winds, and fuel type, Janik said. The fire has been burning in pinyon, juniper, sagebrush, and aspen. About 120 personnel and air support were assigned to the fire, and additional resources were being ordered, Janik said. Smoke from several fires are impacting sections of the west central and southwest Colorado. The Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment listed air quality in the Four Corners area as moderate and lifted an air quality advisory that expired at 9 a.m. on Sunday. However, the health department warned that periods of moderate to heavy smoke could be expected through Monday, especially near the Bull Jaw and Buttermilk fires in Montrose County and the West Guard and Plateau fires in Dolores County. On Saturday, hand crews continued working on hot spots and anchoring to cold sections of the containment lines. Information specialist Emily Davis reported on InsaWeb that the area received no substantial precipitation on Thursday night, but the increased relative humidity helped firefighters increase the containment to 35%.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, a 58-year-old Bayfield woman died in a single-vehicle motorcycle crash Thursday morning 7 miles south of Silverton on U.S. Highway 550. Catherine Tucker was traveling northbound on a 2013 Harley-Davidson motorcycle when she passed a vehicle and veered off the left side of the road, said Captain Adrian Driscoll with the Colorado State Patrol. Tucker was wearing a helmet and was pronounced dead at the scene. Officials are investigating the cause of the crash, but drugs and alcohol don't appear to be a factor, Driscoll said. The crash occurred at 10:56 a.m. The highway was closed about 30 minutes while officials responded to the crash. The highway used alternating traffic for an hour before the road fully reopened, Driscoll said. Tucker's husband, Dan Thayer, is a member of the U.S. Navy and was stationed on a ship at the time of the crash and is in the process of returning home, said Dixie Gray, Tucker's friend. Gray said Tucker had children and grandchildren, but she was unsure of the number of children and grandchildren.
More fire updates from the Journal. Photos courtesy Mesa Verde. The Moccasin Mesa fire, burning near the far southeast boundary of Mesa Verde National Park, reached 185 acres on Sunday, according to a press release. A Type 3 Incident Command team from Durango will assume command of the fire this afternoon, said Park Public Information Officer Christy Brown yesterday. The Moccasin Mesa fire was reported by Park Point Lookout about noon on Saturday. Personnel working on the fire include a 20-person Type 2 crew from the Navajo Nation and National Park Service employees from Mesa Verde, Canyon de Chelly National Monument, and Canyonlands National Park. Equipment includes a Type 2 and a Type 3 helicopter, single-engine air tankers, and engines from Fremont County and Pike National Forest. The park is open and services on Chapin Mesa are available. However, the Chapin Mesa picnic area is closed and will be used for fire operations. Areas of the Visitor and Research Center parking lot have been coned off for the fire equipment, Brown said. The park reminded visitors that fire personnel have the right-of-way and asked that visitors do not stop in the roadway. Drones are prohibited in the park. On Saturday, the park announced on its Facebook page that the fire was, quote, in the park on Moccasin Mesa and was at 75 acres. A post stated that 2 canyons separated the fire from the main park road and park headquarters, the museum, Cliff Palace, and Balcony House, without providing the fire's precise location. Moccasin Mesa Road runs north to south through the park and continues north to south just east of the park's most southern boundary in the Ute Mountain Ute tribal land.
According to the Cortez Journal, Sonnen Dahl endured more than a year of pain before she had an ankle bone replaced at Mercy Regional Medical Center, one of the few hospitals in the country offering the procedure. Dahl's talus, the bone that allows the ankle to move up and down, had died from lack of blood supply after it broke, a condition called avascular necrosis, said Dr. Doug Lucas, an orthopedic surgeon with Mercy Orthopedic Associates. The condition is painful because the bones around the talus start to suffer and arthritis develops, he said. People with a dead talus face limited options. Some have their talus fused to their heel and or leg bone, which can limit their mobility. They can also have their foot amputated and use a prosthesis, Lucas said. Lucas suggested a third option to Dahl. She could go to Duke University Health System and see Dr. Celine Perrick, who replaces ankle bones with 3D printed implants. After researching the option, Dahl and another one of Lucas's patients asked if the doctor could do the surgery at Mercy. Once he received approval from Centura Health, Lucas ended up doing both surgeries on the same day in June. Mercy is the third location in the country where the procedure has been completed, Lucas said. Now that Lucas is approved to provide the procedure, he expects there will be more demand for the surgery at Mercy. He encouraged people with a dead talus to consider it. Lucas described the cost of the procedure as reasonable, considering that while amputation may be cheaper, patients may have to regularly replace a prosthesis. And now, let's take a look at the weather.
The National Weather Map shows unsettled weather expected to shift into the Midwest and Great Lakes region, while parts of Iowa, Wisconsin, and Illinois are expecting continued rains. Another severe storm there is predicted over eastern Colorado and into Kansas, with general chances for rain across the south and eastern half of the country. Mild and hot weather remains consistent on the west coast all the way into the Rockies. Regionally, patchy smoke in the region, particularly bad conditions in northeast Utah and northwest Colorado. A high-pressure system amplifies across Arizona and New Mexico, keeping those temperatures several degrees above normal today and Tuesday, with regional highs to our south hitting the triple digits. There's no monsoonal pattern kicking in at this point. We'll keep you updated on how that continues. Isolated shower and thunderstorm activities along the Continental Divide is possible this afternoon before diminishing by sunset. Dry and hot conditions will develop during the work week, with isolated showers and thunderstorms continuing to be possible along the Continental Divide. The shower and thunderstorm threat may increase by the end of the work week. The DCTV 5-day outlook shows today sunny with a high near 88, north-northwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming southwest in the morning. Tonight, clear with a low around 60, west-northwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming northeast after midnight. Then Tuesday, again sunny with a high near 90, northeast winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming west in the afternoon. Tuesday night, mostly clear with a low around 58, northwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming east-northeast after midnight. Wednesday, sunny again, high near 90, East-northeast winds 5 to 15 miles an hour, becoming west-northwest in the morning, and then Wednesday night mostly clear with a low around 58. And you kind of see a repeating pattern here. Thursday sunny with a high near 90. Thursday night mostly clear with a low around 59. Friday sunny with a high near 88. Friday night partly cloudy with a low around 59. Saturday sunny with a high near 88, and Saturday night partly cloudy with a low around 60. And now back to the news.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, a tanker carrying fracking fluid rolled over in the Potter Canyon in northern Colorado, spilling some of the fluid. The Fort Collins Coloradoan reports that the Colorado State Patrol says the accident occurred about 11 p.m. Thursday on Colorado 14 and required a hazardous waste team to clean up the spilled fluid. It wasn't immediately clear how much fracking water was spilled or whether the spill reached the Potter River. Trooper Gary Cutler said the truck's driver was not hurt. No other information, including whether the driver was cited in the crash, was available Friday.
From the Durango Herald, photo credit AP. 3 years after the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency triggered a massive mine spill that polluted rivers in 3 states, the federal government still has not repaid any of the victims for the millions of dollars in economic damage they claimed. The EPA said this week it is making progress on reviewing about 380 claims for lost income, fallen property values, and other losses from the 2015 spill at the Gold King mine outside of Silverton. But the agency has not said when it might finish the review or when anyone might be paid. Some business owners say they feel misled and doubt they'll ever be compensated. Lawmakers are impatient. The EPA's response to the Gold King mine spill has been unacceptable, New Mexico Democratic Representative Ben Ray Lujan said on Friday. This spill had devastating consequences for Navajo Nation and northwestern New Mexico, spilling millions of gallons of toxic contaminated wastewater. An EPA-led contractor crew was doing excavation work at the entrance to the Gold King mine on August 5th of 2015, when workers inadvertently unleashed 3 million gallons of wastewater pent up inside the mine. The water sent a mustard yellow plume of pollution into rivers in Colorado, New Mexico, and Utah. The Navajo Nation and other tribal lands were also affected. The EPA estimated the water carried nearly 540 U.S. tons of metals, mostly iron and aluminum. Farmers, rafting companies, fishing guides, homeowners, and others filed for about $318 million in economic losses, according to EPA documents reviewed by the Associated Press. State, tribal, and local governments said their losses were higher. The EPA paid out millions of dollars to state, tribal, and local governments for the cost of responding to the spill and for water tests. But the Obama administration, which was in charge at the time of the spill, said in January 2017 it could not pay for any economic damages. The administration cited sovereign immunity, which prohibits most lawsuits against the government. That provoked a furious political backlash, and the new Trump administration said it would reconsider. 1 year ago, then EPA Chief Scott Pruitt visited the Gold King mine and promised to review all of the claims. Pruitt resigned amid a storm of ethics scandals in July, and the EPA is regrouping under Acting Chief Andrew Wheeler. But the review is making headway. Agency spokesman James Hewitt said the EPA sent letters in June to 54 people who filed claims or to their attorneys asking for clarification or more information, Hewitt said in an email to the AP last Thursday. Only a few have responded, he said. John Swartout, a policy advisor to Colorado Governor John Hickenlooper, said he has been briefed by the EPA about the review and believes the agency is making progress, but, quote, it's slow going.
According to the Cortez Journal, Al Harper, owner of the Durango and Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad, says if all goes according to plan, the historic roadway that draws thousands of tourists to southwest Colorado will not have another disastrous summer like this year's. In June and July, the railway did not run for more than 40 days after the massive 416 fire broke out June 1st. Extreme drought gave rise to extreme fire danger, prompting La Plata County to enact restrictions that ban coal-fired engines. As the fire burned in the San Juan National Forest, Harper's fleet of 6 coal-fired steam engines sat idle in a rail yard, unable to infuse thousands of dollars into the Durango and Silverton economies. The losses were so great that Harper had no choice but to adapt to ensure his company could operate during extreme droughts. So now the railroad is spending as much as $6 million on oil and diesel-powered engines that will stand in for the train's traditional coal-fired engines, which are infamous for sending off cinders and starting fires. In the future, the D&S&G plans to consult with the U.S. Forest Service, local fire districts, and La Plata County to determine if weather conditions pose too high a risk to run coal-fired engines. Harper, who has owned the railroad since 1998, is investing the money to make good on this bold proclamation.
Reported in the Durango Herald, photo credit Marianne Goodland, Colorado Politics. Proponents of a ballot measure they claim will strengthen private property rights turned in a record 209,000 petition signatures Friday to the Colorado Secretary of State. Initiative 108 is a constitutional proposal for the November ballot that its chief sponsor, Colorado Farm Bureau, says will allow private property owners to take state or local governments to court when their property is devalued. The ballot measure doesn't identify the kind of private property that could be taken, but examples include mineral, oil and gas, or water rights. The ballot measure addresses what's known as, quote, takings, when the government takes someone's private property for public use. Current law does not allow a property owner to sue until his or her property has been devalued by 90%. Initiative 108, although the ballot measure's language doesn't say so, would allow a property owner to sue for fair compensation for a much lower threshold, said Mark Arnuk, a Weld County farmer and a member of the Farm Bureau's board of directors. Initiative 108 becomes the second constitutional ballot measure under more stringent signature requirements approved by the voters in 2016 under Amendment 71, aka Raise the Bar, which the Farm Bureau supported. Carlisle Courier, CFB vice president, said Friday that the success of the signature collection effort demonstrated that, quote, when given a voice, voters outside of the Front Range want and deserve to have a say in the ballot initiative process. That goes to the claim before passage of Amendment 71 that petition signature requirements could more easily be satisfied by collecting signatures in the state's major population centers, ignoring rural Colorado voters. If voters approve 108, owners who believe their property is being devalued without fair compensation must prove that the devaluation is the result of government action. The measure is opposed by the Colorado Municipal League and a handful of elected municipal officials. Quote, enshrining 108 in the Constitution ought to concern everyone, tweeted Kevin Bomer, legislative liaison for the Colorado Municipal League. Quote, want a county to be sued for allowing a dairy farm to be built or a municipality zoning to ensure industrial uses don't impact schools? 108 will pit property owners against each other. Chad Vorthman, executive vice president for Colorado Farm Bureau, said he found those claims troubling. Quote, it makes me think those in charge of our government either don't understand all the case law on takings or are being blatantly misleading. Courts have taken a narrow view of takings legislation, Vothman said. A takings claim cannot be based on a general public laws or ones that involve health and safety or nuisance issues, he said. Vorthman said that 108 is the first time Colorado Farm Bureau has proposed a ballot measure, although the effort is also backed by the oil and gas industry, which also backed Amendment 71.
And now for the Dolores County Sheriff's Roundup for the week of July 30th through August 5th. License plates were reported stolen from a vehicle parked at a local business. Officers are investigating. Juveniles were reported to be riding ATVs through town. Cows were reported out on Road H.6. The owner was contacted. A car versus deer accident was reported. There were no injuries. That concludes today's roundup. Stay tuned for continued updates.
And today's High Canyon Country happenings. Wednesday, August 8th at the Dolores River Brewery, Rob Ickes and Trey Hensley will be playing based on a mutual love of bluegrass, country, blues, western swing, and other string band music of all kinds. The partnership of dobro player Rob Ickes, who also plays lap steel guitar in the duo on occasion, and acoustic electric guitarist Trey Hensley continues to delight and astound audiences of traditional American music around the globe. They feel exceptionally fortunate to have these two amazing musicians stopping into Dolores. So don't miss it. The show starts at 7:30 p.m. and tickets are $15. This week is the Dolores County Fair on Friday, August 10th. Don't miss the ice cream social at the Dolores County Fairgrounds 4 miles west of Dove Creek. That will be when they are also hosting the Junior Annual Show, and you can check out all of the other entries inside the building. That starts at 4 to 6. Saturday, August 11th is the Rocky Mountain Oyster Fry, an FFA VOAG fundraiser, also at the Dolores County Fairgrounds. This starts at 6 p.m. on Saturday. Tickets are available at the door, $12 for adults, $6 for children 12 and under. Lots of door prizes and an auction. All of these happenings are posted on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with the YouTube replays, weather, and original stories and local posts. To share your event or information, contact us by email, dcbnnews@gmail.com, or call the station, 970-677-4119.
Thanks for tuning in. News at Noon airs at noon Monday through Thursday and then is available online on our YouTube channel and our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page on demand.
Be sure to like us there on Facebook and join in on the news in our area. And of course, please share it with a friend.
For Kendra Cook with DCTV and the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching.